Welcome to part 2 of chapter 13 of our It Is What It Is run through The Evil Within. We're still in the hotel. We've come down one floor. We've picked up the key that we shot from the floor above. Disarm this trap and follow some rats into a cubby. To an air vent, basically. And this part of the hotel is going to get kind of dicey. If you've played it through a couple of times, you'll know what to do. But if you haven't, the kitchen can get kind of perilous pretty quickly. You can see they're beginning to really stack up the goo. Typically in these games, whenever you start finding a resource in abundance, they're expecting you to use it. Since we're on an It Is What It Is run, we can't use the goo to upgrade ourselves or our equipment. But that means that the foes are likely to start getting harder because they're expecting you to have applied some upgrades. There's one thing about the way the inventory system for the game works. And it comes into play harshly, I should say, in the It Is What It Is runs. Like right here, we're going to find some more Magnum ammo, and we can't pick it up. But there's no way to stock it. Like when you're back in your safe room, you can't put ammo away into a safe and then come later and pick up more and just keep stockpiling it in your lockers. You can't ever drop anything you pick up.
Not that way. No.
So once you're full on Magnum ammo, if you don't use the Magnum, that ammo is just going to be wasted. Like, we can't pick up how many of our shells that was. I don't remember how many it said it was.
No, not that way. No.
Haven't you figured it out yet?
Oh, he loves tormenting others. Has to let them know he has the upper hand.
Lays out the bait, gets his victim all worked up. His unholy traps.
When it was happening to me, I could see what was going on. I could see it, but I couldn't turn back. I had to know. I had to know the truth, and he knew it.
Detective Castellanos.
Lady, level with me. Am I going crazy?
If one wishes to survive, one would do well to consider who they trust.
At this point, would you trust anybody? I don't even trust my own senses, nonetheless somebody else. Joseph. Well, that's worrisome. One person in the game that we've been able to maybe trust. As long as he's not turning into a zombie. Of course, we've turned into a zombie next to Kidman once too, so it's not like Joseph's unique in that way. We have another key. We can open locker number 38. You see, I've been opening them in a very methodical, left to right, top to bottom manner, but you don't have to. You can open them in any order you want. The things that are in them are actually random. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if they're always the same things. Like I'm not sure if there's always a certain number of shotgun shells, a certain number of handgun shells, etc. And they're just randomly placed, or if it's truly random and you don't even know how many of each type of item you're going to have per run. I can tell you that even like if you save and reload to your save and then go back and open the locker again, you may or may not even get the same thing. So some of them seem very persistent. Like some of them are like, oh, I don't want this. Let me restore and reload. And you just get it again. You're just constantly getting it. But it's always the case with the thing you didn't want. But again, the inventory management for It Is What It is kind of hypercritical. Knowing what what ammunition is going to be available to you, and therefore use that ammunition so that you can refill. Mostly use the ammunition that you would normally use for the situation that you're in. But like in that case, using the handgun ammo, because there's handgun ammo right there that I can refill. And really, you should go through that door. The way I did it here, there's a it's not a proximity bomb. It's actually a crossbow bolt when you come through that. And if you go through the other door and you come around this way, you can see it and you can shoot it and take care of it that way. But I forgot. Ran right by the closed door. And you'll see I go through this actually kind of slowly because everything looks not at all like what I'm expecting it to look like. And it's because I'm going through it backwards from the way I've always gone through it. Obviously worth taking your time to go through here. Get some bolt parts as well as a lot of goo. Of course, again, for us, the goo is not important, but the bolt parts are. And if you're trying to finish every nook and cranny, you obviously need that map piece. But see, if you had to come through this door, it's just to the right here. If you'd have come through the door this way, you'd have come around, you'd have seen the bolt, you'd have been able to shoot it. I wanted something out of that machine. I'm still confused because I'm so used to going through it the other way around that I feel like this door is not going to lead me where I think it's going to lead me. It's an interesting point about this game is there's no map. You can't like pull up the map and say, did I clear this area or not clear this area? Can't, or where am I? Where do I need to go? When we first started playing that really annoyed me. It kind of bugged me. I guess it's because we just came off of Resident Evil Revelations. Or, I'm sorry. Resident Evil The Village. And I used the map so extensively to make sure that I picked everything up. It's not particularly hard to see, but I think that's a hard one. That's an easy one to miss, that key. Because all the action happened to the left when you came through the door right there on the left. Everything happened on the other side of the hallway. So remembering to come back and look behind you there in the hallway. And then also having to look up. It's easy to miss, if you ask me. It is kind of out in the open, but most of them have been. I mean, the ones you have to find with the sniper rifle are obviously the hardest because there's a lot of area that you could be scanning with the sniper rifle. Okay, so there hasn't been really any challenge to this part of the level so far, but we're about to get to the kitchen. I go through it without any problem here, but the first time you see it, there's a lot of traps. A lot of traps and a lot of ways to die. A whole lot of ways to die. I also was very sparingly using the electric bolts the first time we played through because they're so expensive. Five parts to make one bolt. I really should check and see if, yeah, there you go. I truly am full.
Joseph?
They also, in the game, they lay these tin cans around, you kick them, they make a bunch of noise. But for a stealth game, they don't really use that element. Like that sound never attracts anything. You can kick whatever you want all day long as you're walking around. It won't make any difference. I mean, there's nothing to be stealthy about right at the moment, but I'm just saying, even in stealth mode, when there are things laying around, kicking a tin can doesn't... You hear the sound, but they don't seem to hear it. And I think that's really odd, because they went to a lot of To me, the programmers went to a lot of effort to put in objects that you could actually kick and to animate and sync the sounds to the animation, and then to not really even use it. Ooh, always throwing a monkey wrench in the gears.
Oh God, now what?
You'll see me go to every trap I can possibly disarm, or unless there's a better use for the trap, you know, like exploding it to kill a bunch of enemies. But you'll see me go to every trap because that's giving you parts, and you're not limited on the inventory that you can have for the number of parts you can carry with you. Those are just like little buzzsaw Roombas. You can get the key from this side. You could have shot it from this side, but you wouldn't have been able to reach the key anyway, so it's just better to come over here. But you can see there's kind of 3 aisles, and like which aisle you want to go down. And they put that flame there so that you will run through it. Obviously you can't get low enough to crouch through it, but they want you to run through this, and as soon as you run through it, those come down and kill you. So don't get hasty. You probably didn't have to burn him. I just couldn't remember if he woke up, and I didn't want to find out. You can see the tripwire there. You can see the spikes coming down from the top, so you need to stay down. You see there's a tripwire there that I think the tripwire explodes, but I can't seem to find the disarm. I'm mostly looking for objects here. The way to go is this way. You came in kind of here, and you need to go towards that wall that's on his left now. But you have to be careful. Don't run, because what's going to happen is that's going to trigger that. As soon as you get close enough, it's going to trigger those spikes, and if you run up there, you will be just in time to be impaled. As long as you're slow and methodical, use the electrical bolts to short out the Roombas. Stay crouched. Now you can. Once you're at to the end here, you can run. They're going to release a whole bunch of other Roombas. Really, I probably should have put down an electrical bolt behind me. You can see now the Roombas are proximity bombs too. How I feel like I got lucky that it didn't ever get close enough to me for long enough to explode. Okay, you through the kitchen. This next room is the meat locker. It's not particularly hard. It can be confusing. I spent a whole lot of time in it, and the first time we got to it, really too much time. I think this time I go through it. I don't spend as much time. There are some things that you can pick up. The biggest problem is there's an executioner, and it's hard to get a line of sight on the executioner for any of your weapons because there's these carcasses, the meat hanging in the meat locker.
You again?
You can see there are other safes around, so even if you kill him, expect him to come back again. That was the wrong bolt. I meant to shoot him with a harpoon bolt, which I'm flashbang. I'm not sure the flashbang does anything to him. Certainly not going to do anything to him if he's already paused by the... It seems like that was expensive. I'm surprised it cost this much. Once you hurt him like that, the Roomba comes out. You heard the door open, and then you hear the beeping. You need to get in there. If you don't get in there, the light will turn red again, and you'll have to kill him again. If you can harvest the goo from him, that would have been a good thing. Well, for this run, it doesn't matter. Another run.
Fuck.
This has an interesting tie to the... I think it's the assignment DLC with Kidman. It's Kidman who pushes the button on the other side and lets Sebastian out of this. There's actually an achievement for doing it as Kidman. As Kidman, you can walk by it. You don't have to push the button. But if you do push the button, then you get an achievement, and Sebastian gets out. I found this annoying. The key dropped in here, and I couldn't. It's got to be there. That just seems broken to me. You can see it, and then I had even when I could see it, I had a hard time getting it picked up. But we did manage to pick it up. That's not the one I missed. Okay, well
I'd better find Kidman.
most of the gameplay action. There's a cutscene coming up that's critical, I guess, to the storyline. It ties back to the newspaper, or well, the missing persons poster that you found of Joseph. If you didn't, I missed the A button back there, but you can see what you see is you see Kidman and Leslie walking down the street down there. But seeing the missing persons poster of Joseph, every time previously we've seen a missing persons poster, we've seen it after we know the person was killed. Like we saw the one for Dr. Jimenez after that big beast that we wound up fighting in the parking garage had squished him. So what plays out in this cutscene
Leslie can go
shouldn't
home.
come as too much of a surprise because
Can
you've seen
take
the
the
poster.
train all the way home.
No, Leslie. Not today.
The cutscene pretty much
You'll
ends the chapter, and we'll let it play
protect
out.
me?
And
Yes. That's my job.
Good, good, good. When I get home, they'll be surprised.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry.
Stop.
You don't understand. You don't know what he'll become.
I do. I've seen it.
You don't understand what Ruvik is after.
So tell me, what is he after?
He's after Leslie.
What, he needs to finish his science project?
Don't patronize me. I have orders. I can't let him have this boy. Leslie is the only one he can...
Damn it! No!
All right. Well, that was the end of our chapter 13. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.